Well, congrats to Iowa State. They're an excellent team, as everyone knows, and they earned the right to be the third-ranked team in the country, and they have it all. I mean, they have great playmaking ability. Obviously, everybody knows how well they guard at every possession, and they wear on you, right? They grind you out. So they have great playmaking ability, and they just make you pay. It feels like every time you make a mistake, they make you pay. And I've known TJ for a long time, and we've had our battles over the last, whether it's South Dakota State and South Dakota or Utah State, and he's at UNLV. Now we're back, so it does a great job. I thought we did some good things tonight. I thought we played with a lot of physicality and played really well. Half-court defense, obviously the difference in the game, was our number one key coming in is you got to take care of the ball, and everybody says that. I know you guys have heard it a million times. So it's easy to say, it's hard to do. But, when you play a quality team, it's just hard. When your offense is their best offense, when you give up 25 points off your turnovers, that's really, really difficult to overcome. And I'm very familiar with the Iowa State home court advantage, and it's an elite fan base. When things weren't going great for them early, we kind of made our run to go up, I think it was 22-18 or whatever, and their fans just really do a great job of willing their team and creating energy for their team, and you feel that, and fans impact winning in a great way. And so I thought we did some really good things. Obviously, we've been struggling a little bit coming into tonight, but I thought we took a step forward with some things, and we're not light on losing, but I thought we took a step forward for our team to where we're trying to go. But they got a great team, and it's a team that can win it all. You watch them on film, and their one loss is on a tip-in against Auburn, right, who's really, really good as well. And so we'll keep pushing forward, and our best basketball is yet to come. You guys are easy.
I'll ask one for both of you guys. As Utah gets more familiar with these different Big 12 places and in different towns, what do you think of Ames, Iowa, and Hilton Coliseum, and how does it stack up to what you've experienced so far?
I'll let Miro go because this is his second year in the Big 12. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's right up there with the best. It's a hard place to play in, especially coming in and just knowing every in and out every night. It's going to be tough, going to be packed with fans, and they loud. You can really affect it. It's a real home court. And I'm saying it's up there with, like, Kansas and K-State and Baylor and whoever you could say is a great home court is really up there.
Yeah, I agree with him. It's fun and challenging to come play against an environment like this, and I personally look forward to keep going and to have more experiences like it.
For either player, you see it on film, but when you're actually in it, what just makes the Iowa State defense so tough to crack?
Just starting from the point guard position, just knowing that they're going to deny the easy catches, they're going to put pressure on the ball coming from 94 feet. So just got to be ready for that. And on film, it looks physical. On the court, it is physical. And just got to be really ready for that coming in. And just every time you play Iowa State, you're going to know it's going to be a real battle and a physical battle.
Yep. I think we need to keep working on not changing who we are and playing against a team like this. And we got to remain aggressive and attack. And I think that's when we play at our best.
Thank you. My bad. I was late. That's on me.
He's combing his hair.
Craig, I would imagine for Curtis Jones on the scouting report, the number one thing is to limit him from the three-point arc. How was he able to hurt you guys in other ways tonight?
Yeah, he's a really good player. They got a lot of good players, and they got a lot of players that understand winning. And a guy like him, he's very dynamic. And just watching all these games, that he makes every right play. It feels like, and he makes the plays in the moments, right? The Iowa game, a couple of those shots he hit down the stretch in a very tight contest, and so when he's one of those guys, when he crosses half court, he's in range. You always feel like he's going to make the right play, and he does. At halftime, he had 14. I think he was 6 for 10 from the field. You got to do your best to try to eliminate some catches. We play more of a pack style, just we have to with where we're at athletically, And I thought our guys, for the most part, guarded their, Iowa State's personnel really well. But he was the one that we didn't. And we mixed up our defenses on him. There were times we were just locking him and just trying to take away catches because he can go right, he can go left. He's got an excellent pull-up. He's got a great floater game. Doesn't get fouled a ton, but they have 3 other guys that get fouled 4 or more times a game. So they blend that in. They can hit you on a lot of senses, right? They have such playmaking ability with Lipsy and Gilbert. And then, of course, Jefferson is such an elite passer at the 4 who can also play the 5. He stuck a big 3 tonight. He had made 4 threes all year. But they got a lot of weapons, so it's hard when you try to take away this. Now that opens up, and that's what great teams have. It's just, right, it is what it is. But he's a really good player. And then the last thing I was going to say with that is for him to understand, coming off the bench, right, and being that spark like that, very few teams have that. And it seems, and I'm not in that locker room, but it seems like he embraces that and relishes that. And that's harder and harder to find, sometimes. So he's a heck of a player. He kept saying, Coach, stop denying me all these catches. And I said, obviously, we're not denying you enough because he was really good tonight.
Taman Lipsy for them said that TJ's been urging him to play through the paint even more than he does. Obviously, he did that getting the free throw line. How critical was that for them to be able to attack there, even as physical as you played, but to get to the free throw line?
Yeah, I mean, listen, getting to the foul line is such a huge advantage. It's typically what, quite frankly, my teams that I've been the head coach of, we've been really good at that at every spot we've been. Now, this team, not as good. And we haven't shot free throws as well. So I really value that. And that's what really, obviously their defense, but on the offensive end, scouting these guys, that's what stood out to me is their ability to get to the foul line. They drive closeouts, and they put pressure on the rim. And so I've always been of the belief, love the rim, like the 3, love the rim. And it creates so much help and recover. It opens up offense, offense rebounding lanes. And so, coming into tonight, and I'm not here to but Gilbert averages over 6 free throws a game. Deshaun Jackson is over 4 free throws a game, or over 5, I believe, free throws a game, and Jefferson's over 4. So when you get in foul trouble, and especially on the road, and then every time you touch a guy, they're living at the free throw line, it's hard to come back. And they got a lot of playmaking ability, and he's one of those guys, and he creates a lot of havoc all over the floor, quite frankly.
Iowa State's players spoke. That Coach Otzelberger said to them coming out of the under-8 timeout of the first half that he wanted to see them guard with a little bit more intensity.
Yeah.
From your perspective, did you see that kind of increase over the last 8 minutes as you guys scored just a couple points in that last?
Yeah, that's what flipped the game. I felt like, right. Well, and Lovering we were clearly better tonight when Lovering was on the floor. It was very noticeable. I don't look at the stats a ton during games, but and then you look at the final when he was on the floor, we were +1. And he for a 7-footer, he really understands spacing and timing. And, we could always get a safe reception through our 5-men because they're not going to typically get out and deny, right, everybody. And so I thought that really, really hurt us. He's a fourth-year guy, really understands things. But they certainly ramped it up when we got the lead, 22 to whatever, and they went on, whatever the run was to finish the half. But they ramped it up. They cranked it up. The crowd got into it. And we got to be tougher. We got to have more poise and composure. You can hold the ball for 4 seconds. It's a long time. We always say it's a turf war, and you got to fight for your turf. You got to fight for your turf. It's easy to say. It's hard to do with these guys, right? And so we'll learn from it. This game's going to get us better. I felt like we got better tonight. We're going to grow from this game and get better.